evening. Many thanks for joining us. This is News Analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business Television Abuja. My name is Bulus Joanna Ray. And the top stories: battle for rivers. AGF moves to defend Tinubu as PDP governors mobilize 11 sands. Obi visits victims of Plateau killings and donates 7.5 million naira. The presidency dismisses U.S. court order on Tinubu. The Chinese investors laud sugar master plan to invest $1 billion in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Chinese exports soared in March ahead of Trump's Liberation Day. Details coming up shortly. Stay with us. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi has sprung into action and commenced drafting the response of President Bola Tinubu to the People's Democratic Party's governor's suit challenging the declaration of emergency rule in Rivers State. The PDP governors, on their part, have engaged 11 senior advocates of Nigeria and 6 other attorneys to battle the federal government at the Supreme Court on what powers the president potential to attract investments of up to $1 billion into the Nigerian sugar industry. And according to the agreement, Sinomac is set to start by constructing a sugar production plant and sugarcane plantation with an annual production capacity of 100,000 metric tons, while the NSDC will facilitate and assist in obtaining the necessary authorizations, approvals, and permissions to undertake the project. This will more than double Nigeria's annual local sugar production. And while Sinomac is expected to contribute its vast expertise, resources, and experience in the execution of the project on an engineering, procurement, and construction basis, the key advantage of the arrangement is that the Chinese conglomerate will also be financing it. Speaking at the signing ceremony held in Abuja, the Executive Secretary and CEO of NSDC, Kamar Bakin, reiterated that 2025 represents a pivotal year for accelerated development in Nigeria. Well, you're still watching news analysis on PNB TV. We'll go on a short break and more news when we return. Welcome back, and now to foreign news. China said on Monday that exports soared more than 12% last month, beating expectations as businesses rushed to get ahead of swinging tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump on his so-called Liberation Day. Beijing and Washington have been locked in a fast-moving, high-stakes game of brinkmanship since Trump launched a global tariff assault that has particularly targeted Chinese imports. Tit-for-tat exchanges have seen U.S. levies imposed on China rise to 145%, and Beijing setting a retaliatory 125% toll on U.S. imports. Figures released by Beijing's General Administration of Customs on Monday showed a 12.4% jump in overseas shipment and more than double the 4.6% predicted in a boomerang survey. Imports during the same period fell 4.3%, an improvement on the first 2 months of the year and a sign of rebounding domestic consumption. Beijing also said Monday that the United States remained the largest single overseas destination for Chinese goods from January to March, amounting to $105.6 billion. And for sports updates, let's join Abel Sunday.
Good afternoon and welcome to PNB Sport News. I'm Abel Sunday. River Hoopers concluded their Kalahari Conference campaign in an emphatic fashion with a 79-59 blowout win over Stade Malien, stamping their dominance as they head into the Basketball Africa League playoffs in Pretoria, South Africa. Having already secured qualification to the playoffs of the 2025 BAL, the Kingsmen stepped into the court with nothing to prove, but a lot to affirm, and it was done neatly. From the tip off, the Hoopers set the tune, controlling the tempo and keeping Stade Malien in check with a sniffy defense that held the Malian side to just 28.6% shooting from the field. The Nigerian side, on the other hand, shot a solid 45% and displayed their growing team chemistry. Raphael Putney was the spark plug for the Hoopers, dropping 15 points under 19 minutes with clinical efficiency, knocking down 5 of his 8 attempts at a 62% clip. Putney was supported by Martin Akes, whose hustle on both ends saw him finish with 14 points on 46% shooting. Off the bench, Michael Ofuwabe provided instant offense, scoring 13 points in just 14 minutes and converting 80% of his shots, including a perfect 3 for 3 from the line. Abel Chidebere Ofia added 9 points and Ifeanyi Anthony dropped 9 points and 3 rebounds in 20 minutes. River Hoopers outplayed Stade Malien beyond the arc, making 9 of their 33-point attempts, while Stade Malien managed just 9 of 37. The Hoopers will move. The Hoopers' movement, defensively rotation, and bench depth were simply too much for their opponent. With this win, River Hoopers closed out the Kalahari Conference with a 4-2 record and firmly focused on their next stop, Pretoria, South Africa, where the best of the continent will battle for glory in the bar playoffs. That's all for sports today. I'm Abel Sunday.
And that'll be all for now for the news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business Television. I am Bulus Joanna Ray. Do have a wonderful day. Bye.